So welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to cover how to write high converting landing pages, and we're going to go over what are landing pages, what are the components of landing page, and how you can create one for your clients. So first things first, we're going to cover what is a landing page. So a landing page is the first page someone sees after clicking an ad. It's that simple. Unlike websites that have many functions and call to actions, a landing page has a single focus, and that dependent on the client goal. So you might have a client that wants to collect more emails from his audience, someone wants to sell a product, someone to get more subscribers for his YouTube channel, someone to register more people for his webinar, someone to thank his buyers for making a purchase, and so on and so forth. All these examples can be turned into a landing page. With that said, the first component of every landing page is the headline, and that's the most important. Whether that you have a short form landing page like those opt-in landing pages where the user leaves their email exchange of PDF or quick or video or whatever, whether you have a sales page and you have you are selling a product, membership, or whatever, headlines are always there, and you need to make sure that you really master the art of creating headlines. Like the landing page is the first thing people see after clicking an ad, the headline is the next thing people see after they land on this landing page. So that's why it needs to be attention grabbing, intriguing enough so they can read the rest of the copy and hopefully take the action that you want them to take. So what are the next steps you need to follow to make sure you create an effective headline that accomplishes that? Again, let me remind you that you don't need to come up with something creative of your own. The first step is to have a look at what's working. So what I do is usually I jump into websites like Digg.com, Reddit, news.google.com, medium.com, buzzfeed.com, crack.com. So these are all magazines that have multiple headlines on their sites. Just like the screenshot that I've posted here for you. There are multiple headlines here, and I want you to have a look at them before you write the landing page and to really get inspired from them and see how you can turn one of these into a headline of your own. So usually what I do with this headline is I tick it as it is. So for example, I have a circle here, the one that says chef tries out the world's most expensive toaster and sees if it's worth the eye-popping price tag. So I take this and I turn it on template, and I turn it into something of my own. So when you do that, I also need you to remember that for a headline there are certain traits that every headline has, that if those traits are fulfilled, then the headline tends to be more powerful than a headline that doesn't. So some questions that I like to ask when I write a headline are: is it stoking curiosity? Is it confirming the belief? Is it opening a loop in our readers' minds? What is it that captured the attention in the first place? You see, there are certain traits, like I said, that headlines do accomplish. So those are: first thing first, a good headline gives you a reason to read right now. Secondly, implies personal benefit. It arouses curiosity. It's easy to understand and focused on a single big idea. Headlines that fulfill these traits are proven to convert better. So let's study a headline. I took this headline because I really liked it, and it's also a headline that has produced millions for the sales page for this entrepreneur. So it goes like this: how this fat broke newbie entrepreneur launched her online empire with 1.3 million followers from her kitchen table with no product and zero tech experience in just 3 years. As you can see, this is a story-based headline. It's packed with social proof. When we say that the part where we say 1.3 million followers, it's social proof. Then the curiosity is that is when it says flat broke newbie entrepreneur, like the reader goes like, how, like I'm in her place, or I'm exactly in the same place, and I can do this. So it arouses the curiosity. And also it handles the main objections people have, that they have to start from zero experience and they have this limiting belief that if you have no experience, you can't really make it. So these headlines makes people think, yes, I can do it too. So one extra tip for me though, claims on headlines must be believable and really specific. So for example, when we say 1.3 million, it's really specific. We don't say 1 million, or we don't say a round number. We say 1.3. It's a specific number that the more specific it is the more believable. And secondly, if the number was really big, or if we promise people something that's way above their expectations, or it's too far from their imagination, it tends to lower the effectiveness of that headline. So make sure you keep that in mind as well. So right now I'm going to go over some headlines that I personally use all the time. I'm going to go through all of them and explain why they work, and you can feel free to use them as well on your own. In the end of this course, I will give you also the link to the PDF of this entire course. It's like a written version, like a guide that you can use. We can go through it at the moment you write copy for some client. You need to use it for a swipe file, for example. It's a really good way to do it. So yeah, with that said, let's go through the rest of these headlines. So number one, the number one headline that I like to use, it's the number one way to get your promise without objection. An example is number one way to get rich without working on 9 to 5. It's a very simple one, but just for the purpose of showcasing you how this headline is used, I used it as a simple headline. This type of headline works really well because it raises an objection and handles it, but you don't have to use the exact wording. Many copywriters think that they need to copy the best headline formulas word for word. So don't be afraid to get a little creative. In fact, the above headline can be much more powerful if I added a few elements. So you can take this headline and add some elements like social proof, intrigue, to rouse the curiosity, to make it like a story-based headline, just like the previous one. Yeah, you can get creative in this part. The number two headline I use is "Steal this trick, the number one secret of your promise." Steal this trick, number one secret to succeed faster in business. This is an example, again, a simple one, but I don't want to get too complex in here. It's just for the purpose of demonstrating. So this one is one of the best headlines to use when you're going to hand your audience some intriguing advice. Using the word steals appeals to greed, which is one of the most powerful triggers in human psychology. Number three is how to accomplish something in short amount of time. For example, how to craft your own winning sales copy in 48 hours or less. So if you're a copywriter, that sounds really good, doesn't it? This is also the bread and butter of headlines. This template is a classic one in the direct response world, and it has produced amazing results for decades. So you can feel free to use it all the time. Next one, stop doing current solution for your ideal prospect is using, and do this instead if you want to your promise. For example, stop spending money on programs and business gurus, and do this instead if you want to achieve financial freedom before the 30s. This is a perfect example of an attention-grabbing headline that has worked really well for me. The purpose of it is to provoke curiosity in your readers, presenting another solution, but again, not revealing your product or service. This will almost force your readers to see what you have to say. Again, this is one that I've used it like multiple times, and the clients really like it. It performs really good as well. I also sometimes use it as a shorter form in Facebook ads headlines, but that's for another moment. Number five, here's your product service that's helping identify your audience here, get something they desire, so you can picture here the afterlife. So for example, here's a 5-day email challenge that's helping overworked entrepreneurs to get unstuck so they can finally focus on their zone of genius. So I remember using this headline for a business coach. It worked really great. He was promoting, if I remember correctly, a 5-day email challenge for for his subscribers. It was all over the email. I created a landing page to capture the details and then get people on this challenge. This is a type of headline that works best if your audience is solution aware. So, like we said, there are five awareness stages. So this is not for the problem aware audience or the cold audience. This is for the people who are solution aware. It works best, in my opinion, for those people. As you can see by the example I gave you both, I briefly included the problem while identifying my audience as well. By writing a headline that poses a problem and then offers the solution your company can provide, or your business or your client, you have created a situation that will most likely encourage the reader to take a look at the rest of your sales call. So these are the headlines that I personally use. Again, you don't have to use the same one that I use. You can feel free to use whatever headlines that you find. You can also search different articles on Google. You can Google the best performing headlines in direct response. There are also multiple guides on that you can download that you can take as templates. So yeah, you feel free to use your imagination here, and also use frameworks that have really worked in the direct response world. So yeah, like I said, I'm also going to give you this as a PDF in the end of the course. Make sure you watch the course till the end, and then you watch the final lesson, and you get the link to download. It's completely free, by the way. You're going to get the PDF as well. So yeah, thank you for that. And in the next lesson, we're going to cover also the next part of the landing page. This was the headline, one of the most important ones. In the next lesson, we're going to cover the bullet points and the rest of the landing page, which is call to action. Yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.